Vokos,
Hello,
my teacher in Seattle Basific University. How are you?
Very well. I send warm greetings to our Muslim Arab friends from a very rare sunny day in Seattle.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, can you, Dr. Vokos, talk about yourself?
Sure. I'm a professor of physics at Seattle Pacific University. I have been at Seattle Pacific for 12 years. Before that, I was for 10 years at the University of Washington. I got my PhD in theoretical elementary particle physics. And I have been doing research for the last 20 years or so in how students learn science. And so you have had first-hand experience of some of the experiments there.
Doctor, if you may talk about your experience of emerging between the science and Islam as a theory of life.
So I have to start my comments first of all by saying that I know little about Islam, but I have experience, quite extensive experience now over several years, working on a project in science education in the Gulf. And so I've had lots of experiences working with really devout Muslim science teachers and who came from the Gulf region, but also from Palestine. So my thinking about the connection between science and Islam is that Islam has a wonderful, beautiful, long tradition of integrating carefully Islam and science. So in the golden age of Islamic science, you had people like Ibn Rushd and Ibn Sina, who provided a deep philosophical founding that actually helped the West develop science, because the East was much more advanced in science than the West was at the time. So I believe that it is completely possible, as a Christian myself, it is completely possible to integrate one's faith with cutting-edge science.
So, Dr. Vokos, do you believe that there is a serious problem in the relationship between science and religion, or it is just a myth created by atheists?
So, my answer is yes and no. I do believe that there is a deep problem in the sense that lots of people see it as a problem. I do not see it as a problem. I see that God, who created the universe and who is revealed to us through our Holy Scriptures, through the Quran for you, and through the Bible for us, and through the Old Testament for the Jewish people, for instance, wants us to use our God-given gifts of reasoning to be able to discover beautiful ways in which the world works. And so truth is one. There cannot be different truths. There cannot be a religious truth and a scientific truth. And any time that we find a discrepancy between the two, then this means that we have not understood well one or the other. And so we need to be humble in both of our interpretation of religion and our interpretation of science, so that we never ever come out to say that we know what truth is, because only God knows what truth is. On the other hand, I do believe it is a very serious problem because even in the Christian world, especially in the Christian world, there is a very strong sense that one has to choose. Either one is a good scientist or one is a faithful person. And I think that that is something which is a deep misunderstanding of both science and religion.
So, Doctor, from your experience in involving in numerous science projects and sharing and teaching this knowledge with people, that the science language is the only language to interact between people as the science advanced, is a common sense between them, or there are a variety of options and choices that can be promoted and to create that interact regardless of their ethnicity, race or color.
Right. So I have many ideas about this. One way to do this is to actually recognize that science is not the one, but it is a major way in which people across the world can get together and work together in order to solve very significant problems that we have that require thoughtful and careful scientific expertise brought to bear in the solution of real-world problems. For instance, the climate is changing. We are human population is growing at a very significant pace. The rate at which we are consuming energy resources and other kinds of resources is increasing. And so we need people from all different ethnicities, colors, races, languages, religions, political beliefs to get together in order to be able to imagine and implement solutions to these big problems. But I do believe that if the only thing that we talk about is science, then we are missing a big part of human existence, because part of human existence involves our quest to understand and give meaning to our life. Science, the kinds of questions that science asks are questions about mechanism. They're questions about process. They're questions about causality. They are not questions about meaning. And every single human being wants the same things. And they want to be happy. They want their families to do better than they did themselves. They want to live in a peaceful world. And so all those kinds of things cannot be addressed only by people who talk about science. Science is has a very important role to play, but you also need to connect with other people in other parts of their life, parts of the life that makes us human.
So, Doctor, if you had a chance to diagnose the Islamic world in regard of the ambition, vision, and future, what would you purpose to make it better?
So, this is a very difficult question, and I have to repeat something that I said in the beginning, that I believe that the only people who can speak with authority are the people on the inside. I am a person on the outside, and therefore what I have to say does not carry as much weight as the people from the inside. So, having said that, I recognize the humongous debt that Western science owes to the Islamic golden years of science. Now something happened, and Islamic science changed, and so rather for a quest of asking new questions and thinking about new ideas, Islamic science went on the wayside. That I see in the world, in the whole world, not just in the Islamic world, but in the whole world, is that we equate scientific advancement with technological advancement. And I think that although those two things a lot of times go hand in hand, technological advancement is a different kind of thing than the scientific enterprise. And so I know that there are governments in the Arab world, for instance, who have recognized that they wanted to support science, but the way in which they support science is applications of science, scientific applications or technological applications. And we need the Islamic world to bring its power not just to the applications, but to the beginning foundational research that gives rise to innovations that later on will give rise to applications. Otherwise, the Islamic world will always be applying somebody else's ideas in new contexts, but somebody else's ideas. And I think that we are missing, the world is missing a big opportunity because I really, as you have understood, working with me all this time, I really believe that faithful people of Islam who are also cutting-edge scientists can put those two things together and transform the world. So I reach out to our colleagues in the Middle East, and as a Christian, I reach out and I say, let us work together to better understand one another and to improve the quality of life of everyone.
So, Doctor, have you ever read the Quran?
I've not read the full Quran. I should, but I have not. I have read some pieces, especially some of the pieces that connect with Jesus and Mary, and I wanted to better understand how Islam understands Isa and Maryam.
Do you know anything about Hajj?
Mm-hmm. Hajj is one of the pillars of Islam, and it is very strongly encouraged for people who can do this in their lifetimes to go and visit Mecca. And so that is a blessing for people who go to visit the holy places.
You know, my name is Ali. So, do you know Ali?
I do know.
What do you know about Ali?
About Ali, I know that Ali was a very close relative of the Prophet, and I know that he is considered as the person after whom Shia follow, and I know that he was killed, and there is a big religious holiday, a big celebration to remember him.
So, Mr. Vokos, thank you for giving us some time.
It is a real pleasure, and I wish that there were more opportunities for us to speak across thousands of miles.
Yeah, and do you want to say any word, any final word?
I would like to send to our friends in the Middle East and everywhere, actually. I would like to remind them that they have lots and lots of friends in America, and people who respect them, who love them, who care about them, and who want to get to understand them better.